Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a monthly book review. If you guys don't know, I will stick it in the cards up here above. I, want to do more lifestyle, add a few more lifestyle videos into my channel, even though that I'm still focusing on beauty related items. I feel like throwing in, different lifestyle videos here or there just kind of keeps things interesting, spices things up a little. It's not always the same, beauty upon beauty upon beauty upon beauty. So I'm going to start off with my monthly book reviews for the month of January. I did a lot of reading in January. I did go away, as you know. I did go to Mexico, so I was able to get a lot of reading in there. I'm drinking my coffee, you guys, so excuse me if I'm taking a sip break. Folgers vanilla biscuit. So good. It's a K-cup, and then here's my little mug. So anyways, I have 4 books here to review. I'm going to give you just kind of a tidbit of each one, what I think of it overall, and what I recommend. And, stay tuned because I like to include a book in my giveaways. So one of these books may pop into my, my giveaways as I do them, because I like to really encourage people to read, leisure read, especially because I feel like when you're reading, your mind is working and your mind is exercising. That's your mind exercising, is when you're reading. Personally, for me, I don't believe like math problems is your mind exercising. Maybe to some people it is, and that's fine. But for me personally, I'm not a math person by any means. My mind exercises by me reading novels and biographies and all that kind of great stuff. So I do include a novel in every. I try to include a novel in every giveaway that I do, and I would be glad to even do a giveaway on just a book haul of some sort. If you guys want to do that, if you want me to do a giveaway just on books, then thumbs this video up and I will definitely do that, because I feel like you live 1,000 lives when you read. Someone who doesn't read doesn't really live, personally. That was a quote that I found from the author of Game of Thrones, if I'm not mistaken. I like to post a lot of quotes on my Instagram, so if you're not following me on Instagram, link is in the description box. But here we go. So we're going to start off with probably my most, I want to call it my most boring, because it's not something that I personally enjoy reading on a regular basis, but it's something that I really wanted to learn and read on to see if I can improve how to save money. So this is by Gail Vaz-Oxlade. I think that's her name. She's Canadian. It's Debt Free Forever, and it is one of the books that I read from her. I've read another book from her. I can't remember what it's called. Something about saving money. It's on my iPad. If you hear my dad yelling in the background, just ignore it. So I did read it. It did give me some helpful tips on how to pay down any debt that I may have as fast as I can, how to continue to save money, how to budget. It kind of touches on all of those. And I feel like someone who is kind of weak in the finance department or wants to learn how to save more, this is a really great option to pick up. Personally for me, look at this. I didn't even realize I had this in here. A little bookmark. Personally for me, books like this, I will highlight in them and, just, key points and all that, just so that if I ever have to refer back to them. So, boring as hell, but necessary for me personally, because I wanted to learn how to get out of my debt and start saving a lot more money than what I was saving before. So sometimes the boring things are just necessary, and I have to say I really do recommend this to anyone who is looking to change their finances, because you're not going to change your finances overnight. It takes a process, and she really does help you how to start that process. So I do recommend to those who are looking to change up their finances and maybe pay down any debts that you may have. So that one, even though it was boring, I do like it. It was necessary for me to read, and I will keep that to refer back to from time to time. My next one is James Patterson, Alex Cross Trial. This one was, this is in conjunction with Richard DeLallo. This one is, I love James Patterson novels. If you guys have been following me for a while, especially on Instagram, you will notice that a lot of my reads are James Patterson. I read his entire Women's Murder Club series. They're at, I think, the 18th novel now. I've read everything from that series up until the most latest one that's to be released in April or June of this year. So he's a great author. I feel like his thrillers are just fantastic. Murder mystery thrillers are kind of what I really get intrigued in. Trial was a little bit more of a historical mixed with fiction type of deal. This goes back to the early 1900s, when President Theodore Roosevelt was in office, and it talks about slavery and racism. There is murders in here. There are, there are times where you have to pay attention because to pick out what's fact and what's fiction, there's a very fine line. So what I would say is this is a story that you really need to pay attention to just to be able to decipher what's fact and what's fiction. But it was I feel like it was a good story to learn a little bit more about that time of the era, how big racism was at the time. That was very interesting for me to learn. And Alex Cross is a character from James Patterson's Alex Cross series, and I've read a lot of Alex Cross novels, and this kind of brings him back to his ancestors and what they were up to back in the early 1900s. So it's Alex Cross telling the story of his uncle. I think it was like his great uncle or something like that. And people do die in it. They're looking for the killer, that kind of thing. There's a little bit of a love mystery in here, a love interest. So it's kind of interesting. It was a different aspect of what James Patterson normally writes, and I was actually quite impressed with it. If you guys are into learning about slavery and racism and all that kind of stuff, this one is a good half fictional, half historical read, and I would recommend it. Anything James Patterson, I have never really been disappointed in, to be totally honest. And that brings me to my next one. It's another James Patterson novel. This is the Don't Blink with Howard Rogan. He co-wrote this with Howard Rogan. So this is about a columnist, so a writer, a journalist, and he has a love interest with one of his coworkers. She's engaged to the owner of the newspaper that they write for, but the journalist is totally in love with her and would want to be with her, but she's with this other guy. In the meantime, they come across a murder from the mafia. So the mafia is involved in this novel as well. They try to find who the killer is, and in the meantime, it all spoils out into, does the journalist end up with this woman? Does she leave that, rich man that owns the newspaper? That kind of stuff. So there's a little bit of a twist and turn in this, and I really did like it. Another different aspect of James Patterson that I never really saw. I never really read his books that involved a little bit of a mafia, kick to it. And this was one of them, so I was actually really impressed. They're quick reads. James Patterson novels are usually quick reads because their chapters are short. So his chapters are like maybe, 3 pages at most. And there are a lot of chapters, so they go up to sometimes 100. But with 3 pages a chapter, it's not really that big. You can really fly through it because he really knows how to keep you interested. So this one's another good one. Love it. Do recommend. I will consider putting this one in my next giveaway. Probably my summer giveaway. Let me just see here. Sorry, you guys. Just want to check something. Okay, my last book. This is the last one for January. And it's by Elin Hilderbrand, and it's called Nantucket Nights. So that's what the novel looks like. It is, I've read a couple of Elin Hilderbrand novels before. Some I was okay with, others I loved. This one was one that I actually enjoyed. There's 3 women. They're all friends, Kayla, Antoinette, and Val. Yes, one of them has my name. Isn't that surprising? Because my name is so rare, you never really see it in any media, especially novels. But anyways, so they have a ritual on Labor Day weekend. They all go nude swimming in their close by beach. At night, it's a girls' night. They just talk, they drink, and they swim. One of them goes missing, and they are trying to find her. People get blamed for her disappearance. People get blamed that she was murdered. And there's so many twists and turns in this. Like, I couldn't believe how many twists and turns were in this one. I have to say, even like the chapters are long. I think they're like almost 50 pages each, if I'm not mistaken. But it's worth a try because I just was so shocked at. I was really shocked at the fact that a lot of the content of this book in particular is based on Kayla's, which is one of the main characters, based on her side of the story, but they do throw in some other views from other characters as well, and at the end of the novel, you're just kind of thrown for a loop because you never really thought that it would end this way. And I really did like it. It blew my mind personally. Some people weren't really a fan of it, but for me, I just found that it was very refreshing, a different type of writing, and I really did enjoy it. It was very much a beach read, I found, and that's what I used it for. I took this to Mexico with me, and I read it there. So I have to say, thumbs up, Nantucket Nights. If you guys want me to do a book giveaway, like a book haul giveaway, I will definitely include this one as well because I think it's great. For me, I don't really keep a lot of books after I read them because I just don't have the room, and the only ones that I really keep are my main series ones. Like I kept my Twilight series, I kept my James Patterson Women's Murder Club series. Those are my two top favorites, and those are the ones that like really I'll keep. But after I read books like these, and even though I've liked them, I not want to really reread them again because once they're read for me. I don't reread a lot of books. So if you guys want me to do a book haul giveaway, I'll be happy to, and I can include some of these for you guys. I really am trying to encourage more reading for everyone because I feel like it is very relaxing. It's very calming. Even though your mind is working, you can just sit there on a couch with a coffee and a blanket and just read and just, get lost in a whole other world. And I feel like sometimes we need that in this crazy, hectic world we live in. Living in Canada, even United States, we're on a fast-paced schedule all the time, and I feel like we don't take the time out just to freeze and enjoy life. So reading is a huge part of my life, and I want to share it with you guys. So let me know, like the video if you want to see a book haul giveaway, and I'll definitely do that. And comment down below any feedback you want to give me. If you want to see more of these, if you want to see my top 5 vacation books, stuff like that. I would love to hear your feedback. So anyways, thanks everyone for joining, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. Mwah.